Hey everyone, Happy New Year to you. May the coming year give you massive, massive abundance of everything good that you desire. So I wanted to share with you, I was reading a book. I've been reading this book for a while. It's called The Book of Awakenings by Mark Nepo. And I read a passage the other day that really resonated with me, and I wanted to share a little bit about it with you. And it was about relationships and the ebb and flow of relationships. So, I started to think about, there's a ebb and flow for everything. There's a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to harvest, and all that stuff from, I think it's Ecclesiastes. But there's ebb and flow with everything, and that includes friendships, that includes relationships. Sometimes you can have your good girlfriend, a good buddy, your bestie, whatever you call them, that you talk to every single day. I used to be friends with a woman. She's no longer here, but we were friends for a long time, and we talked sometimes 2 or 3 times a day. And then there would be times when we got really busy in our lives and we didn't talk at all. And that happens. That's just how life is, and we're all really busy. But sometimes, because we live in a very imperfect or a world that gives a false sense of perfection, that we want to be perfect, that we want to show up perfectly, that if we begin to have this weird narrative running in our minds if we don't talk to our friends sometimes, if all of a sudden they haven't called us in weeks, or we haven't talked in a month or two, we begin to think, well, did I say something to offend her? Did I hurt her feelings? Did we misunderstand each other in that last conversation? We kind of hung up abruptly. We started doing all that stuff to ourselves. And what is a pebble of silence becomes a massive boulder of misunderstanding and mistrust and doubt and confusion. So we got all that stuff going on that doesn't have any place in our hearts, our minds, or our relationships. So how do we offset that? How do we keep that from happening? How do we tamp down that crazy voice that sometimes enters all of our heads, because we're all different, and a silence or a lack of a response to something we've said does not mean that there's a problem. In order, sometimes as I'm thinking about it and I'm reading what Mark Nepo wrote, it made me think that one way to stop that voice is to quiet that fear, is to confront it with kindness for ourselves first and foremost, to be gentle with ourselves, show yourself love, show yourself kindness, patience, and grace, and recognize that you are deserving of good love, kindness, good relationships that include open, honest, tactful, and kind communication. So, and so then what does that mean? How do we get to that? How do we get from, oh my goodness, maybe she will never speak again, or I'm not gonna call her, all that stuff that we do to ourselves, and that keep relationships from working. What we're accustomed to in our very busy world, this very go society, is, hey, how you doing? And we fully expect what we typically get. I'm fine. How are you? I'm fine. Good to see you. What's been going on? Oh, girl, everything is fine. We have this surface level conversation. Well, girl, women are better at having some deeper conversations, but more often than not, we have that surface level conversation, even with some of our dearest friends. So we ask, what's been up? how you been? If the person is sick, girl, can I bring you by a bowl of soup? Can Do you need me to take you to the airport? We ask questions that really do answer the needs of our friends on a surface level. But what if we considered building relationships that go beneath the surface on a regular basis? When you say, how are you? Ask that person, do you need encouragement? Do you need to talk about what's going on at work? The last time we talked about you wanting to write a book 5 years ago, you said you were going to really jump into that. But our lives got busy and we haven't talked about that in 4 or 5 years. Where are you with that book writing project? Do you still want to do it? Is it still something that matters to you? Are you happy in your work? Are you happy in your relationships? Are you feeling fulfilled in your heart, in your mind, in your spirit? What's going on in your head? Do you need a hug? Ask questions that really get to the heart of where a person is really living and what a person needs. When we start to build those relationships and strengthen those bonds, and we know that we have each other's backs, hearts, and souls in mind, and they matter, then it's a lot less easy to think that moments or days or weeks or even months of silence have changed anything about our relationship, that we know that we can trust the relationships that we've built really matter and that they are still intact, but life is busy. A long time ago, and I've had this practice for a long time, and I do it with friends, old and new. I say, let's agree to have the type of relationship that if we have a misunderstanding or if we think there's a misunderstanding, we're not going to sweep it under the rug. We're going to talk about it. We're going to ask each other, did I do something to offend you? Did I misunderstand what you said? Am I hearing and understanding what you said? Is this what you meant? And agree to have honest, tactful communication so that we can all be clear and not let things go by the wayside, things that erode the fabric of our relationship. You can be in a marriage, living in the same house with someone, and you have these little microaggressions, if you will, and you just kind of, oh, no big deal, oh, no big deal. And then you let those things go for years. And then if 15 years later, you're like, I don't even know why we are together. I don't like you. You don't like me. We barely speak to each other. That's how that happens when you just don't connect eye to eye, heart to heart with a person and really take the time to understand and listen to understand, listen to hear, not listen for the break or their pause while they're catching their breath so you can jump in with your laundry list of all the things that you want to talk about. Have a heart for your loved one, for your family member, for your husband, your spouse, your child, your parent, your sibling, and really try to hear what they're saying as opposed to hearing so that you can respond and defend yourself or defend against or rebuttal what they've said, because that's not the best way to build a relationship that you can trust and be trusted in. Ask for, do you need encouragement? Again, ask, what can I do to support your journey? What can I do to support you being on this planet? I shared with my sister the other day, I had had a couple of really, really tough work appointments. And I walked into one, and the walked into the house, and the client immediately, I mean, immediately started, she was recording me with her phone, and she immediately started yelling at me. I've never met this woman in my life. And I didn't meet her where she was. I immediately recognized that to come to a complete stranger with that much vitriol, that she's in pain, that she's angry, and something happened that had absolutely nothing to do with me. So, but I didn't take, she said it was too much incoming. So I said, okay, you know what? Somebody else is gonna have to come and help you with your situation. I'm not the one, because I'm just not gonna take this abuse from you. And I left. I had another situation that was different, but also very difficult, and created a lot of chaos in that day. What it made me think is, I know that this job that I'm doing, that I love parts of it, I love the people part of it, I'm good at it, I can do it with my eyes closed, but it is not what I'm put here. God has a different plan for me, a different path for me, a different work for me, and this is not it. And I said, I'd rather not be here if I'm going to keep living my life doing things that other people want me to do, doing things that I have nothing to do with the trajectory and the purpose for my life. And trust me, guys, I'm not suicidal. I'm not even sad. I'm fine. But my point is, we are put here to do certain things. We are put here to live, to fulfill our purpose. And to bring it back full circle, when I said that to my sister, the point was, live according to your purpose. To again bring it back full circle, I want to be that person for you, and for my mom and my siblings and my loved ones and my husband and my friends, that says, how can I help you live your purpose? What is your purpose? What are you feeling? What are you yearning for that you are not walking in? What can I do to help support you do, be, and live your purpose? Do you need a hug? Do you need encouragement? Do you need just to talk it through? Do you need to just kind of have a listening ear so you can just figure it out and listen to yourself, process it? Whatever that is, I want to be that for you and for my friends. I want you to be that for your friends, your loved ones. That's how we quiet that fear of, maybe our friendship is changing. Maybe he doesn't, they don't care about me the way they used to. Maybe we're moving on. That's how you quiet that sense of discomfort, of insecurity, of concern that the relationship is changing in ways that make you feel that the relationship might be over. Be the person for your friends that's that shelter on a rainy day, that's that calm in the storm. And believe me, you will also have that in your life, because you cannot put out great things like that and not have those things come back to you, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. Now, you might not get it from the places that you most expected, might come from the places you least expected. You might end up seeing some relationships change. And this is no indictment for anyone or any relationship, but sometimes you might find that you're dropping dead weight so that you can pick up and soar in relationships with people that have a heart for you and are going where you want to go. And that's okay. The quantity of your relationships may change, but I guarantee you the quality of your relationships are going to soar. So give that some thought as we enter the new year. How do you want to show up in your relationships? How do you want to be there for your family and friends? What do you want to have come back to you from your family and friends? And then work to create that so that you can live the best life that you can. God wants you to have great things. God wants you to have a beautiful, happy, healthy, prosperous, joyful, enjoyable life. And that's certainly one step, one way to get there. Step in the right direction. So that's your Miracle Mind moment for today. Again, Happy New Year to you. I love this book. I recommend it. It's got a passage for every day, and there's some really good stuff in here. So I'm sure that I will get something else from it that I'm going to want to come back and share to you. Share with you. So pick up a copy. I don't think you'll be disappointed. All right, guys. Again, have a fabulous day. If you are having black-eyed peas and greens for you to enjoy your new year, enjoy that. Be safe, be healthy, be happy, and I look forward to talking with you very soon. Bye for now.